Hello, it's Rigers. New essences are here and it's time for a new PvP build. Shocker. Let's shock them all. Let's start with skills. So we have Conjuration of Light, Judgment, Consecration and Fist of Heavens. And our primary attack is Sacred Fire for this build. My paragon is still the same, it's paragon brawler, and I am using these 5 skills with special skill benefactor, because when I am using skill which grants me buff, I will receive a shield, which is always good, and our consecration is considered as a buff skill. So as you can see here, I use consecration and here is the shield around me. Let's move to our set items. I am using 2-piece Flagellant set because it's increased my damage by continual damage by 15%, which is for my consecration, because my consecration is my main skill for this build. Then I am using 2-piece Vitus, which increase the duration of my beneficial effect by 30%, and for survivability the mandatory is 4-piece Mount Bank. So these my sets. My legendary gems are the Hellfire Fragment. This gem is not so good, but it's cheap reso for me. Then Maw of the Deep. Maw of the Deep is very good for PvP, not so good for PvE. Then Phoenix Ashes. For PvE it's a trash gem, but for PvP I like this gem. Then the Horror Skull. Unfortunately, the Horror Skull is trash gem for PvE and for PvP too. So as you can see, I am using here as an auxiliary gem Roiling Consequence. Then Void Spark. Void Spark is very good gem in general. Bloodsoul Jade, it's one of the best gems in the game. And then Gloom Cask. Gloom Cask is very good gem too. And Starfire Shard, which this gem is really awesome for PvP. Let's move to my legendary gear. Let's start with Helm, and it's a new essence, Shatter Bank. It's for our consecration, and consecration now creates an area of lightning that follows you, dealing damage and shocking nearby enemies. The most important part here is that it's shocking the nearby enemies, and in a few seconds you will see why. My chest is Fortress Hermetic because it's increased the radius of our consecration by 29%, and from Awakening it's increased the damage by 10%. My shoulders are the Yawning Crows, and I am using here's the more option as the shoulders which you can use. Now I am using the Yawning Crows, but I will be testing the other shoulders, but I want to provide you the best results possible, so that's the reason why I am not showing the other essences which you can use here, because I have to do much more testing. So right now I can say the Yawning Crows works well here. So let's move to my pants. It's Scorn the Pawn, and this is the very important essence here and complementary with my helm, because Fist of the Heavens also stuns shocked enemies for 3.2 seconds. Cannot occur more often than once every 4 seconds, which doesn't matter because the cooldown of Fist of Heavens is 7 seconds, so it's always ready to stun the enemies. And this is very strong with combination with our consecration, because someone invite me. No. So my consecration shocked the enemies, and then I can stun them for 3.2 seconds from Fist of Heavens, which is very good and very strong. Now let's move to our main hand, which is Sanctified Scribe. And as you can see here, Sacred Fire deals 47.5% increased damage to shocked enemies. So again, it's perfectly complementary with our Consecration, which continuously shock the enemies. Our second main hand is Trial by Fury, and this means that taking damage causes your next Sacred Fire to detonate on hit, dealing 13,000 additional damage to nearby enemies. My offhand here is Desecration's Reprisal, and Consecration deals 57% damage to enemies suffering total loss of control, which I believe that the stun should be considered as a total loss of control. But if I'm mistaken, let me know in the comments. But I hope that I am not. And here my second offhand, it's only placeholder, sorry. And I want to show you which offhand you should run. Unfortunately, I don't have this new essence.
Let us forge.
I was unlucky with essences, and this is the new shield essence. Here it is, because enemies affected by your Consecration take 22.8% increased damage from you for 3 seconds. This is very strong. Unfortunately, I don't have it right now, so I have to run the placeholder there. But even with the placeholder offhand, the performance of this build is very good, and with this will be even better. So definitely run this Gallows Green. And what I want to show you is here the magic FX. I hope it's on this hand. Where it is? No, it's not. So it's not. Yeah, it's here. Because if you are building your character for PvP, then the magic affixes are important, and this one is very good because your evasion rating is increased by 0.8% for every nearby enemy, up to a maximum of 8%. So you should be able, or the enemies shouldn't be able to hit you with their every hit. I am not sure how it works in reality, but we have to believe. But the second affix is much more important, when shields also grant you immunity to 2 hits of damage. And it works. I tested it, and if you have shield, then the first 2 hits really doesn't do any damage to you. So it's very, very good, very strong. Let's quickly look on my reforges, because on most of my gear I am using this combination: attack speed, beneficial effects, critical hit damage, skill damage, and primary attack damage. On some of my reforges I changed the critical hit damage for damage to players. It's my answer to increased damage reduction for all players. I did it only on 3 pieces of my gear, but when I will get the legendary runes with crit damage, I will probably do it on more my gear, so my damage versus players will be increased more. But it's only important for you who are very interested for PvP. If you are not interested for PvP too much, then you don't have to do this. Now let's look on our skill rotation. So firstly, when we are going to engage the enemies, we should use the Consecration for applying shock. Then we can use the Yawning Growth and then stun the enemies with the Fist of Heavens. And by the way, this could be used as a defensive way very effectively, because if someone is chasing you and you are running away like here, you put your Consecration, and when the enemy is close to you, he is shocked, and then you can stun him, and he is stunned for almost 3 seconds, and you can run away, which is very good. And I did it a few times in Battleground, and it was fun. So this is the skill rotation, and now we will move to training dummy. You will see the 10-second damage window, because for battleground I don't think so that there's needed to do a longer window. And keep in mind that I am still missing the new shield essence, which will increase my damage by 22%. And now let's start. The damage output wouldn't be so high, probably. Okay, we have 11 seconds, but it doesn't matter. It's 14 million, which is good for PvP. And our main thing here is to stun the enemies. And here, guys, you can see the damage, how it works on a real player. So you use your concentration, yawning crows, then to stun the enemies. Oh, he is stunned, and now he is dead. So it was fast, but I can. This was how it works, and it works very well. Now let's move to the real battle, and you will see how it works in a real fight. I am caught by bar, but never mind. And enemy is killed. As you can see how I'm dealing the damage. And now let's move to the slow motion mode to be better visible, and let's focus on the enemy Hope. As you can see, Hope is taking a lot of damage from my concentration and the yawning crows. And when my Fist of Heaven is on, look at this. Now I am using it, and the Hope is stunned. As you can see here, now the Fist of Heaven procced, Hope is stunned, and I can finish Hope. So it works very well. The stun effect is strong, and when I will have my shield essence with 22.8% damage increase, it will be even better. So thank you guys for watching, and see ya next time.